Hello, my friends, and welcome to Youth Potential, a channel dedicated to helping young people with mental health problems. I have two books available, 102 Distraction Techniques and Self-Harm to Self-Harmony. Both of these books are only available on Amazon. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hello, my friend Scott here representing Youth Potential. So today is Self-Injury Awareness Day, or strictly speaking at the time of recording and uploading this video, it's the day before Self-Injury Awareness Day, but I'm at work all day tomorrow. So I am just doing this video now for you guys. Before I start, what I was going to do was share some the latest statistics that have been recorded in terms of how many people are self-harming amongst age groups. But then I was reminded that these figures are never going to be accurate because of the amount of people that don't open up and don't reach out for support in regards to self-injury. So I didn't see the point in posting the figures. Instead, we're just going to move swiftly on. You guys that have just tuned into my channel for the first time or don't know much about me because you've not watched any videos where I talk about my own experiences, basically, yeah, my name's Scott. I'm 29 years old at the time of recording this. I started self-injuring, self-harm at the age of 15, and that lasted up until about the age of sort of 20 years old. I was 7 years clean after that, wasn't depressed or suffering with any mental health issues at all that I was aware of. And then I relapsed in 2017, and that has kind of gone on up until right at the end of last year in 2019. At this moment in time, I'm coming up to 12 weeks clean. I'm quite proud of myself. It's not been easy. If you've seen any of my videos previously about self-harm, withdrawal, those symptoms I've been experiencing, it's been quite difficult. However, I've managed to be very self-aware and distract myself and do things that are keeping me safe, basically. But yeah, more specifically around my experiences with self-harm, cutting has always been my sort of go-to release. I have self-harmed to either punish myself or to get an endorphin rush, basically just to release the anger, the stress, or the sadness, or the anxiety, or whatever. That's what I've always done. I think I heard about self-harm for the first time probably not that long before I actually started harming myself, when I was about 15. I think the first time I heard of it actually was a friend of mine when I was in secondary school. He had self-harmed, and I didn't really understand it. You know, at that time I wasn't really struggling with my mental health, not consciously anyway. And I just didn't understand it. I didn't know how to react. I mean, I wasn't angry at him. I just didn't get it, you know. And then when I first started self-harming, I completely understood. Self-harm is a really powerful addiction. It's really hard to give up. It's not impossible, but it is difficult. To be able to actually stay clean or stable or go a long period without doing it, you know, it requires you to come out your comfort zone. Anyone will tell you, you know, if you're struggling with self-harm or any mental health problem for that matter, it's a case of you have got to open up to people. I know it's extremely difficult and it's going to take some practice. The advice that I give anyone when it comes to opening up is, before you want to open up to someone, whether it be your parents, your friends, school teacher, work colleagues, or whatever, the best thing to do is write down some bullet points on a piece of paper and just write down what you want to say, the points that you want to cover, and bring those notes with you when it goes to talking to whoever it is you're opening up. And then that way, because your emotions are going to be all over the place, your mind's going to be all over the place, you know, trying to open up to someone for the first time is difficult. Having those notes by you, you're going to be able to recalibrate yourself. You're going to be able to focus a lot easier, and you're going to be able to say what you want to say, and you won't forget what you want to say because you've already written it down. It's really important. You can do this in a counselling session as well, actually. So yeah, it just goes without saying, if you're struggling with self-harm, you've got to reach out, you've got to open up. I know it's difficult, but you've got to do it. It's going to be easier in the long term for you to open up to your parents or friends or whatever than it is to just hide it and struggle with it. Okay, I promise you, don't let it become an underlining issue. Put it right at the forefront. Okay, I know you're scared of opening up, but you've got to do it, and you're gonna feel better that first time that you open up about it. It's gonna be so scary, but you are gonna feel a massive weight off your shoulders when you do start opening up to people about it. Okay, I promise you that. For those who have been self-harming and have got scars, I myself have scars on my legs and arms. I mean, you can't really see the ones on this one because I've had tattoos put over them, but on this side you probably can't see it because of the quality of the camera. Yeah, I have scars out, and I'm fortunate that I've got to a stage where I'm comfortable with having them out, and if I see people staring at me, it makes me just a tiny little bit uncomfortable, but then I just remember, and this is how I kind of deal with it, is people are more curious. They're not so much condemning me when they're staring. They're curious, you know. It's just the same as if you see someone who's got anything kind of different, that's different to the average stereotypical normal person. Like if you see someone in a wheelchair, sometimes you automatically your attention goes to that because it's just a bit different, you know. Or you see someone who's had chemotherapy and they've obviously they've lost their hair, you notice it straight away. It's you know, people aren't hateful, you know, it's just curiosity. We're humans are curious. And it's the same when people stare at my self-harm scars. Okay, they're curious. I mean, there's probably some people there that are completely narrow-minded, that aren't, you know, they're probably frowning upon me, but at the end of the day, they still don't say jack shit to me, and I feel sorry for them because they're completely ignorant. They don't understand. But you know, I'm okay with people staring at me. You know, it takes a bit of time, and I frequently get asked, you know, how do you feel? How do you break that barrier of hiding your scars in public and then having them out in public? How do you cross that bridge? And my answer to that is bring some. When you go to do it for the first time, bring someone with you that you completely trust. It might be your mum, your dad, a sibling, a friend, cousin. You know, that one person that you can talk to, that you can trust. Get them to come out with you, okay? Because then having that second person with you gives you a lot of confidence, okay? They don't even need to do anything, but just them being there with you is going to make you feel more confident. It certainly does to me. Like, when I wasn't clean, I struggled quite a bit to go out with fresh cuts. You know, sometimes I could do it, sometimes I couldn't. But if I had someone with me and it was a hot day and I really wanted to just have my skin out and feel comfortable, being with someone like my partner or my friends or even my mum, I'd feel a lot more confident about doing that. So I was going to talk about the kind of habits that I fall into that have really helped me stay sort of clean for this long and, you know, just good for my well-being. But I'm going to do a whole separate video on that. So what I want to do, though, is touch upon one thing, and that's my 3 goals a day. I mean, some of you that have been following me for a while, you probably know that I like to talk about 3 goals a day. And the reason that I think that you should all have 3 goals a day, I mean, you could have 4 goals a day if you wanted to, but 3 is a good round number. It's very, very good for your well-being, and the reason it's good for your well-being is that, first of all, it gives you a sense of purpose. And trust me, having a sense of purpose, having something to aim for, something to do, gives you drive, gives you motivation. And for someone like me who likes to plan things, and I get really anxious and frustrated when I don't know what's going on, I can't relax, having 3 goals a day gives me direction, so I can relax. I think, right, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and I've got to do that. Now, the reason I picked 3 goals is because 3 is enough to give you a sense of satisfaction and not too much that it gets overwhelming. You know, when you write yourself out a list of all the things you've got to do today and you've got like 10, 15 things and you think, geez, where do I start? How am I going to get through this? You know, before you've even started, you think that's just too much. But when you've got 3, it's pretty straightforward. Your mind and brain can comprehend that, it can understand it, and it doesn't come across as overwhelming, and therefore you don't give up before you start. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, you're going to want to have a day off, so maybe your 3 goals that day could just be 3 fun things to do, you know, watch a bit of telly, hang out with friends, watch a film. I don't know. It's up to you. But it's important to have 3 goals a day, at least at least 5 days a week, I'd say. That's what I kind of do. And these 3 goals, you know, they're not so massively overwhelming, but they're enough to motivate me. So, for example, I'll have one that's like do my shift at work. Another one would be go to the gym, and another one could be to record a YouTube video. Sometimes they're really simple things, just like meet a friend for coffee, get a haircut, and download a particular file off the internet or whatever. It's really straightforward. And yeah, the good thing about having goals is the reason it motivates you, and this is like a biological scientific understanding here, is that when we aim for something, our brain releases dopamine just like it does during self-harm. You know, when we have that aim for attainment, that's what our brain releases, and that gives a bit of a boost, and that motivates us to do it. And then when we actually complete that goal, our brain gives us a nice big dose of dopamine, and we feel a real sense of satisfaction. And for me personally, to feel content with my life, I need to be working towards something constantly. What I do have is I have 3 goals for the year, and then my daily 3 goals a day kind of all go into that one big goal. So like one of my goals is to get my book, my 3rd book published by the end of the year. And then my daily goals might be do some typing, write up some notes, read through a chapter and make any corrections. You know what I mean? My small goals are incorporated into my big goals, and having those goals, you know, I feel a sense of purpose, and when I achieve the little goals, I feel a sense of satisfaction, and that satisfaction can really be the difference between wanting to be alive and wanting to die. I know that sounds dramatic, but if you have no aim or purpose, you kind of think, what's the fucking point in being alive? So I've discovered my purpose, and I give myself goals, and I feel a lot more content, and it's enabled me to feel a lot more relaxed about my life, because I know the direction that my life is heading, and I don't feel like my time's being wasted, you know? So 3 goals a day, extremely important. One final thing that I wish to talk about, and you guys that have seen my channel and you've watched my video on why I don't aim for recovery, I just want to elaborate on that a little bit more. Okay, first of all, guys, if you do struggle with self-harm and you're trying to go clean, you're trying to give it up, if you relapse, it's a part of the journey. Okay, so please don't beat yourself up about it. Relapse is a part of the stability journey, I promise you. Okay, there's no way you can just give it up like that. Okay, it's not an easy journey. So if on that journey, if you relapse, please just think to yourself, okay, it's a part of the journey. I can still do this. You know, if you fall back down, you're going to get back up again. Okay. Failure is a part of success. Just remember that. Right. Okay. Sorry about that. The camera ran out of memory at that point. As I was saying, I try not to put pressure on myself to recover, and I advise you to do exactly the same thing. I mean, I don't aim for recovery anyway. I call it aiming for stability and managing my mind on a daily basis. It's very easy to think, oh, you know, not self-harming is, I'm not ready for it yet, you know? And I think for me, how do I put this? It's almost like I had to be ready to give up self-harm and not put pressure on myself. You know, up here, I knew that I had to stop doing it if I wanted to get the best out of life. You know, and there's a lot of pressure from people like your parents, your friends, therapists, you know, support workers, whatever. Like, you know, you've got to stop. And there's a lot of pressure from these other people, you know. But having that pressure isn't going to help you stop self-harming. It's really down to you. You're the only person that needs to sort of measure yourself. You're the only person that you need to answer to. So don't put yourself in that position where you've got to recover because other people, sorry, you've got to give up self-harm because other people are telling you to. No, don't fall under that pressure. You will do it when you're ready in your own time, okay? That's just how I look at it anyway. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys sticking with me throughout this whole time. It means a lot to me, so thank you very, very much. Anyway, guys, all the best. Take care.